Okay, rolling. Alright, what's up everybody? Welcome to CG Market Watch Live. And before we begin, I just want to wish all our viewers a happy Thanksgiving. And on top of that, a happy Black Friday as well. So go for your shopping, be it online or be it at the stores, whether you're queuing now or not in a freezing cold. We just want to reach out to you and let you all know that enjoy your shopping. Alright, so no matter what you're shopping, okay. So I think it's also kind of like a good time to be shopping for mining rigs as well. It's kind of cheap right now. And of course for tokens as well. In fact, BTC, it's kind of on a great discount as well. Okay, it's like a great crypto sale. It's like a GCS. Yeah. So without further ado, let's move on to the charts. Let's move on to certain news that I prepared for you guys today. It's not very exciting. It's the same old kind of news. But well, let's talk about whether is it a Black Friday sale for crypto as well. I think that's something that's kind of interesting, right? So let's go. Alright, morning guys. So it's kind of in the afternoon here, but okay, anyway, let's go. So this is of course the coin market cap where I always begin from. So what we're seeing now is that the market cap is hovering at 139 billion. It's very it's below 140 billion now. Key question is where can we head to? Where are we going to before a next bounce, right? 24 hours volume is 15 bill, and BTC dominance is currently at 53.6%, up about 0.3% since Wednesday. Overall, it's still very slow moving. There's nothing that we can really conclude from this. And if you just scroll down slightly, you see that most of the different tokens, at least for the top 30, at least about 99% of them are in red. So it's no point, right? It's like a great crypto sale, like I say again. Now, the only thing you want to buy here is maybe, I guess, stable coins. They're kind of up slightly. And tokens like Aurora, that came from nowhere. And of course, we have Augur. Yeah, so I mean, it's crypto, right? Once in a while, when the whole market is bearish, there's going to be some few pockets of tokens that are doing pretty okay. So it's kind of unexplainable, right? But let's move on. Right? Let's try and understand and digest what had happened throughout the week. I think it's a good time to just look at the news and look at what exactly actually caused that huge sell down. And at the same time, we can also discuss what do we do next. All right. So we'll touch on that on the Q&A part at the end. All right. So right now, looking at this article, it says crypto market continues slow bleed out, but tokens record 20% gains, right? So I think this article is kind of lagged because the price here is still kind of, we are no longer at that price range, okay? And also some tokens record unexpectedly large gains, okay? So it's always talking about the same few tokens still. It's still talking about Coinbase listing, still the same old thing. And currently, I think what we want to just know is the state of the market. What exactly is the state, or what exactly is people or analysts thinking about? So the first thing that I want to bring to your attention is if Bitcoin can maintain a strength in a low range of 4K to 4.5, it could potentially lead to a several-month-long consolidation period. All right, which we have seen Bitcoin consolidated so much in this year, and every time I CG Market Watch, I think at least throughout the year, at least about maybe 12 episodes, I've been talking about Bitcoin consolidating. It's so boring, but it's happening. It's always there. Now, if BTC falls below $4,000, which traders fear, then a short-term turnaround for the dominant cryptocurrency by the end of the year will become increasingly unlikely. Now, unlikely, reason being that a lot of different analysts are saying that we may go to 3.5, go to 3K. You can see our open Telegram channel, everyone's calling for 3K, 1K, 1.8K, whatever, right? So there's so many different kind of pricing. And like I mentioned in the previous episodes, right, that the only time or only moment that we know, or the only group of people who knows when Bitcoin is going to pump, is either the whales or the institutional people who can buy in the market, or basically just the miners, right? The miners will decide when it's time to end. We end the BCH hash war, we'll go back all to mining BTC, stabilize the network, institutional funds flow in, huge volume coincides with buck, bam, right? That could be the next bull run. If not, we're not going to see any much things coming out from this festive season, right? Especially in December. But once again, crypto, anything can happen. So let's cross our fingers and pray. So what is actually going on with the crypto market, right? So I think Tom Lee made 2 points here. And first point is actually about Bitcoin Cash fork, right? So we all know this hash war thing has been going on for a while. I've been talking about it in the last 2 episodes as well. In fact, last week in Taiwan as well. So basically, this fork has actually caused institutional traders or investors to take money out to avoid the risk and uncertainty around the hard fork. But you think about it in another way is that institutional investors took money out of the market, right? Now it's still in that state of fear. Now it's still in a state there where the hash rate has not been decided. No one has actually declared who won, who hasn't, right? And at the same time, what's happening is that institutional investors are sitting at the sidelines thinking whether or not to come in. Why? It's because imagine a top 4 token, BCH, Bitcoin Cash, was first of all a fork from Bitcoin. And then a fork out of Bitcoin, you have Bitcoin Cash, and then now Bitcoin Cash fork again, right? So to mainstream investors, they will be thinking like this is nonsensical because it can never happen in the main world, right? In a environment, in an economy, it can never happen, right? And this fork was just 1 year ago, right? The main hard fork of Bitcoin Cash now is another fork again. So does that actually instill confidence in institutional investors? I don't think so, right? So for them to come back in as quickly is also kind of impossible. Now, the other thing that I want to quickly mention, Lee also mentioned that there's a regulatory pressure on it. Of course, SEC, your Justice Department, looking into the Tethers issue. And of course, I think last year we were talking about how BTC basically pumped from say 7 to 8,000 all the way to 17 to 19,000, and there was a rumor that it was because of Tether, excessive printing of Tether, and then pushing it into the market, buying of BTC aggressively, pushing out the demand quickly, and therefore the price went up. So there's a lot of different kind of saying, okay, here and there, anything can happen, right? But the one thing we need to understand is that the other thing was also global pressure. Central banks starting up policies, trade war ongoing, tech stocks get affected, indices get affected, Dow Jones, S&P got affected, right? Even Goldman Sachs lowering certain profit estimation of certain companies like Apple. So one thing we need to understand that is how the global economy is kind of slowing down in general, and therefore it will naturally have a correlation with Bitcoin or cryptocurrency market as well. There's a lot of fear going on, and it's always safer to hold cash, right? Cash is king when it comes to recession because you can go for shopping. So think of it that sense, right? The more cash you have right now as compared to asset, kind of in a way you are doing better, okay? So you may say there will be naysayers saying that asset is always better, sure, right? So, but when it comes to a bearish situation when the economy is going through a recession, cash is king because you can really shop, right? It's like Black Friday every day. So does this mean Bitcoin is broken? Of course not, right? So you guys know, I wouldn't say I'm a Bitcoin maximalist, but what I want to say is that there is still chances for Bitcoin to rise up in 6 months. So guys, just think of this in a sense. If you are looking at it recovering in 3 months, that means in February, that's a bit far-fetched. But what if you just extend that to May next year, right? My birthday month, or like May or June next year. Then the tendency for Bitcoin to have a chance of recovery is much better. All right, so just think in a slightly of a medium to long term, and if you're willing to buy BTC right now and you're looking at 6 months or more in a general, you'll be doing fine, right? So this is not, of course, not financial advice, but I'm just sharing with you how to look at it long term in a longer perspective. Then whatever that's happening to you right now, it's nothing. It's like an ant bite, right? Like an ant bite on you that you don't feel much, right? It's not as if a crocodile bite you in that sense. So that's the whole entire idea that you need to think about long-term perspective, right? Okay, so of course economic tension, right? So I won't go here, but of course low trade volume, high uncertainty is what that is pressuring down the price of BTC, short-term outlook as well. So I'm not going to go very in-depth into it, but I want to bring your attention to the next news, which is this one. All right, so China. What's happening in China is that crypto miners are selling off mining devices by kilos, right? They are selling it massively. In fact, they are selling at 5% of their initial price. Okay, so for instance, I bought it. This is interesting part that where was it? Okay, so this part. So some mining machines are being sold on the second-hand market for merely 5% of their original value. So a mining machine was bought $2,885 a year ago. It's currently sold at $144. This is the true Black Friday sale, legit. Okay, and think of it in that sense. Here also you have the S7 model miners, and people are actually selling it here off the rack, you know, in China, and that's ongoing, right? So think of it this way: even though the difficulty ratio is dropping because there's less miners supporting the Bitcoin network, and therefore difficulty ratio has to go down in order for miners to still continuously being able to mine BTC and to encourage more miners to mine BTC. But at the same time, the electricity cost is going up, right? They are unable to, you know, just cover their cost. So in fact, the more miners shifting towards mining BCH, ABC, or Bitcoin Cash in that sense, the more you kind of lose out in terms of BTC network and profits. Okay, so it's only a matter of time when miners start bleeding out. Small little mining pools start bleeding out, and therefore the major mining pool will just buy over all of their mining rigs, and therefore gaining even more mining power. So think of it this way: as a transfer of mining power, it's like a relay race, just passing the baton to you, and you get the mining rigs cheap, and then you're preparing for the next bull run, right? Because you don't have enough funds to support your mining rig. So that is what's the mining pool. So that's what is happening, right, in the market, and it's bad, right? It's a transfer of wealth here that's ongoing, and it's a transfer of mining power. So it's a very smart move, if I would say. Okay. Now, the next news, of course, I want to talk about is the hash war, right? I think in this sense, we are always structured. So why major crypto exchanges are granting Bitcoin Cash with BCH ticker? Now, Coinbase and Kraken was actually looking at BCH, just naming BCH ABC as BCH entirely, and just calling BCH ABC BCH, right? And I think that has a lot of reasons to due to BCH SV. All right, the stability of BCH SV. And how we actually make sense to them. All right, of course they have a stringent process in terms of listing because they have the SEC compliant. But on the other hand, you need to kind of think that whether Bitcoin Cash SV makes sense as well. Now there's one part I want to draw your attention to, which is pretty interesting. Yeah, so here. On November 23rd, Kelvin Arrow, if I pronounce correctly, a billionaire casino mogul behind SV, encourage investors for Kraken to stay away from the exchange for manipulating the crypto market by providing Bitcoin Cash with the BCH ticker. Alright, so there's so much biasness going on here. That's all I can say. Continuous threat from SV can could lead to more exchanges acknowledging the original Bitcoin Cash chain as BACH, which could have a negative impact on the long-term growth trend of the asset. So here's the thing. With more exchanges siding with BCH ABC, declaring it the winner and giving it the BCH ticker, it kind of gives users, right? So think of it this way: if you want to have adoption, you need to have exchanges supporting your project. If you do not have exchanges supporting your project, you have no liquidity, you have no one buying your project, and no one trading your project. It basically means that your project is obsolete. It's just like Bitcoin, right? The more people has it, the more people transact in it, the more value it has. Same logic. But if BCHSV is not being identified as one of a real fork or a safe one, then it's kind of obsolete, it's kind of useless. So therefore, when we kind of look at the Bitcoin Cash that's being mined today versus 7 days ago, we kind of see that certain composition has changed here and there. Bitcoin.com came down slightly. Of course, Waterhole went up. Via BTC went down, and BTC.com went up slightly. Mpool also went up slightly. So it's about the same few people mining BCH ABC, right? So there's not much changes. But the only interesting part here is, okay, let me just refresh this. Yeah, so it's currently 62.269% more expensive to transact on. Wait, this is not the one I want to talk about. Transact on. Okay, never mind. Transact on. So when we think about that, it's 69.1% more profitable to mine on a Bitcoin chain. So miners are still losing out. They're still bleeding continuously, guys. So as much as we as traders or we as investors, we are losing money, so are the miners. Can you imagine the people who are supporting the network, the one who we count on them to confirm our transactions, are also losing money. So it's everyone losing money together, right? So it's a very strange logic, but it's basically you bleed out the weak ones. It's like a total eradication of the weak, and eradication of people who don't have the iron and steel hand, to hold on. But it's basically eradicating those people. It's a great, I wouldn't say it's a great depression, but it's a great time to just eradicate off all those speculators and plebs, and moving on to bigger stuff where institutions are coming in, they get it cheap, and they just play us like marbles in a hand kind of situation. So that's happening. All right, so okay, last part, moving on to the charts now. Very quickly, I have prepared 3 simple charts here. I didn't do much drawing, just put some indicators here. But we have BTC US dollar Gemini 4 hours, and we have BTC US dollar 1 daily. So what you can kind of see here is you can see a falling wedge pattern. Now, of course, where is the bottom? No one knows, to be honest. And the one thing to note, which is kind of interesting, is when you look at the daily charts, right? I read it somewhere, I can't remember where, but when you really notice this, this is the first time in 2018, or in fact in the last 2 years. In the last 2 years, okay, so that BTC seriously dipped below the RSI level, right? It's heavily oversold. So this was back in the start of 2017, okay, and let me just draw so that it'll be clearer for you guys, okay, and this was the start of 2018. Okay, let me just draw it here. So as you can see, even when we correspond to the RSI, you realize that this is the kind of the first time we fall below the 30 line in RSI, and we are sustaining below it. We're consolidating below the oversold level. It's crazy. And now in the main financial markets, in most financial markets, or even if you're trading forex, options, futures, whatever, RSI being oversold, of course, doesn't mean that you will bounce up straight away, but there's a very high chance that you will kind of we have a corrective rally that goes up above the midline or the 30 line. But you can see this is kind of like the first time in 2 years that we have kind of dipped below RSI, and we are oversold, right? So this is 1 year, okay, and this is another year. This is the first time we're dipping below and consolidating below. So it's a really, and it's based on daily, right? So it's a really very strong trend, or downward trend. And when will it end? It's impossible to answer that question. MACD is just all the way down. So guys, just brace the storm, right? And understand that we could go low. How low? No one knows. But a falling wedge seems like a good point to note, that when the bounce up do happen later on, when institutions do come in, as we all know, when all the speculators and all those with weak hands are out of the market, mining rigs, mining power is shifted to all the major mining powers, and the miners make the decision to shift all back to BTC, and everything just falls in place, bam, the bullishness will come in. So guys, have hope on that, have some confidence in the market. If you do believe in BTC, you do believe in cryptocurrency market, this is the point of reckoning. This is the point where you need to decide what to do, right? Are you going to stand firm on your feet, or are you going to be chicken out? So this is what you need to decide, okay? Now, basing on tethers wise, there's nothing much to really talk about here. But you can see that we are made out of, on 4 hours, we are made out of 2 doji candles. The market is uncertain on where BTC is heading as well. And it can be obviously found out in the candles. So no one exactly know where BTC is heading to, guys. So it's an unfortunate market, right? I mean, we were all praying, or we were all looking forward to more turkeys and more Christmas tree, a bigger one with more decorations and star, but maybe it's not happening this year, guys. All right, so okay, so I guess everyone's on Black Friday sale and everyone's celebrating Thanksgiving, so there's not much question. Anyone with any questions, you can voice out now, and maybe I could just spend some time to talk to answer some of your questions. If not, thank you for tuning in, and I'll definitely be seeing you next Monday on Cyber Monday, and whether or not we'll be able to buy some cyber tokens, we'll see. That'll be interesting. All right, so thank you guys for tuning in. I'll catch you all on Monday next week, same time, same period of time, and catch you all next week. All right, take care, guys, and happy Thanksgiving once again. Happy holidays.